Following the monumental success of Sandeep Reddy Vanga's Animal, a peculiar and somewhat concerning trend has emerged within Indian film production. It appears that a significant number of producers have attempted to capitalize on Animal's triumph without genuinely comprehending the intricate layers that contributed to its unprecedented appeal. They seem to have fixated solely on the film's undeniable violence and aggression, overlooking the nuanced psychological underpinnings that truly set it apart. Animal became more than just a blockbuster. It transformed into a sensation, a veritable cultural phenomenon, not merely because of its blood and gore, but primarily due to Vanga's excellent craftsmanship. He wasn't just showcasing brutality for shock value. He had a profound, albeit controversial, story to tell and something substantial to convey about complex human relationship and inherited trauma. The film's undeniable success was a perfect confluence of factors: a compelling narrative, exceptional execution, stellar performances from its lead cast, top-notch editing that kept audiences on the edge of their seats, and a powerfully evocative musical score that amplified every emotional beat. Animal was, in essence, a masterclass in blending various cinematic elements to create a visceral and unforgettable experience. However, in the wake of Animal's box office dominance, many producers seem to have taken away the entirely wrong cue. Their immediate conclusion appears to have been, if we make a violent film, money will automatically pour into theatres. This oversimplified and fundamentally flawed logic has led to a series of imitator films that have failed to resonate with audience, and Fateh stands as one of the prime, unfortunate example of this miscalculation. The crucial takeaway that many have missed is that violence in itself does not equate to the quality or success of a film. It needs purpose, context, and a compelling story to back it up, something Animal undeniably possessed, however polarizing its content may have been. While we are on the subject of producers' strategic missteps, my most significant critique, my major gripe, is directed at the makers of HIT, The Third Case, regarding their pan-Indian aspirations. It's a fundamental paradox. If you are investing substantial time, money and creative effort into transforming a regional film into a pan-Indian spectacle, meticulously dubbing it into several languages, especially Hindi, knowing that the Hindi market is enormous and encompasses the entirety of North India, then your distribution strategy must align with that ambition. It's a widely acknowledged truth within the industry that to achieve true pan-Indian success, a film absolutely must penetrate the Hindi market, do that effectively, and the box office numbers will follow organically. We have witnessed this phenomenon countless times in the past, most notably with S.S. Rajamouli's cinematic epics like Bahubali and RRR, and more recently with the staggering success of Pushpa 2. These films didn't just get dubbed, they received strategic and wide distribution. HIT The Third Case was indeed dubbed in Hindi, and it did secure a theatrical release in the north. However, the implementation of this release was nothing short of baffling inadequate. The distribution was so incredibly uneven that outside of handful of major metropolitan cities, there were hardly any screenings available. For ardent film enthusiasts and genuine fans, individuals like myself who genuinely craved the immersive experience of watching this film on the big screen, it was an exercise in futility. We simply couldn't get tickets because there were no shows. This raises a critical, infuriating question. If you are pouring so much effort into the creative and linguistic aspect of making a pan-Indian film, why not dedicate a proportionate amount of effort and resources to its effective distribution? The final leg of the race, getting the film to its audience, seemed almost an afterthought. This lack of strategic distribution is particularly disheartening because Nani genuinely needs a wide release for his films. He is an actor of immense talent, charisma and versatility, possessing every quality in him to be a truly pan-Indian star. His performances transcend linguistic barriers, and his on-screen presence is captivating. There appears to be an inexplicable ongoing issue between South Indian producers and major multiplex chains like PVR, as South Indian films, even highly anticipated ones, hardly get sufficient screens in the north. This is a critical barrier that needs to be sorted out ASAP for the benefit of both the filmmakers and the audiences. Had HIT the third case been given the robust and widespread theatrical penetration it deserved in the Hindi market, it undoubtedly could have made significantly more noise at the box office. These kinds of gritty, engaging thrillers are demonstrably working in the North, as evident by the considerable praise and enthusiastic reception Marco received from us, the Northies. The untapped potential due to poor distribution is glaring missed opportunity. Let's be clear, HIT the third case is not a bad film. It might not achieve cinematic greatness or redefine the thriller genre, but it is unequivocally very enjoyable. It belongs to that special category of films perfectly suited for a weekend watch with a crowd. The communal energy, the reactions of fellow moviegoers, and the sheer scale of its action sequences make it worth your trip to the theaters. Its pacing, its sound design, and the sheer physicality of its scenes are all meant for big screens. Watching it on a smaller device, be it a television or a mobile phone, feels like doing an injustice to the film, diminishing the very immersion and impact it strives for. Yet, the unfortunate reality for many of us, given the scarcity of theatrical showings, was that we had no choice other than to wait for it to be released on Netflix. This compromise, born out of necessity, is a direct consequence of the film's flawed distribution model. As its title clearly indicates, HIT the third case makes the third installment of this rapidly evolving and incredibly thrilling franchise. What we are witnessing unfold with this series is arguably the best cop universe in contemporary Indian cinema. This stands in stark and refreshing contrast to Rohit Shetty's cop universe, which, while popular, often feels like a cinematic universe in name only. His films frequently lack genuine continuity, with characters making appearances that feel more like calculated fan service than organic story progression, showing minimal effort in building a cohesive world. On the other hand, Nani's cop universe, or rather the HIT universe, led by characters like Arjun Sarkar and other officers, feels like a well thought out plan. There's a tangible sense of a larger, evolving narrative, a meticulously crafted blueprint guiding its expansion. Her cameos don't feel tacked on, they serve a genuine purpose to the story and feel incredibly organic to their placement. The true genius lies in the script writing and direction. You become so utterly engrossed in watching the film that you have no clue that a cameo is incoming. And then, when that pivotal moment arrives, when the hero is seemingly at his lowest point, almost defeated, the script is so expertly crafted that you genuinely believe help is coming, but you are expecting characters from the same film to step in. It is at that precise, unexpected juncture, when characters from the first two films seamlessly join in to save the day, that the film truly elevates itself. This is, without a doubt, the best possible way to incorporate cameos into a cinematic narrative. It elevates the film to the next level, transforming what could have been more fan service into a powerful moment of collaborative heroism that feels deeply earned and impactful. The emotional resonance of seeing these established characters come together is palpable. With each successive installment, the stage of the HIT universe gets bigger and bigger. This time the narrative scope truly embodies its pan-Indian ambition, with significant parts of the story unfolding against the diverse backdrops of Jammu and Kashmir, Bihar, Rajasthan and Arunachal Pradesh. Here Nani's character Arjun Sarkar is tasked with investigating a chilling series of gruesome murders, all committed in the same distinct manner yet by different individuals. This complex investigation takes him on short, intense trips to these various parts of India. However, one minor point of critique here is that it would have been much better if he had spent some more significant time in each city while solving the crime. As it stands, there are moments where it feels like crucial clues and revelations are handed to him on a platter, making some aspects of the investigation seems a little too convenient and rushed, rather than deeply explored. Just like the narrative's expanding scope, the action sequences also escalate, becoming much bloodier and gorier this time around. Nani delivers a powerful performance as an angry cop, a character clearly inspired by Amitabh Bachchan's iconic angry young man roles of the 70s and 80s. Subtle but effective nods to this inspiration are evident, such as posters of classic Bollywood films like Diwar adorning his room. In one memorable scene, he even humorously claims that he learned the Hindi language from Bollywood films. This cop isn't afraid to act on his instinct. It truly doesn't matter who you are or where you are, whether in a confined closed room or out in the public eye. He will unapologetically beat your ass. He's a man unafraid to take matters into his own hands, even if it means bending or breaking rules. Crucially, while he's the undeniable protagonist of the story, there are deliberate moments where you will find yourself morally judging him. His action throughout the film often push the boundaries of what a sane, lawful individual would ever do. No doubt he's a deeply grey character operating in a world where black and white lines are blurred, and Nani absolutely shines in his performance of this complex role. He injects the character with immense style and undeniable aura, and a crucial nuance, allowing the audience to understand his motivations even if they question his methods. When he engages in combat, all hell breaks loose, blood is flowing everywhere, and he transforms into a veritable butcher, treating his opponents as nothing more than pieces of meat to be dispatched. Even though Nani unequivocally excels in these fight sequences, making them visceral spectacle, the film ironically lacks conviction in broader context of its action, because Nani feels incredibly overpowered. His opponents, despite being portrayed as dangerous criminals or serial killers, are consistently depicted as little more than pieces of meat. They seem to lack any real strength, tactical ability, or threat level. Nani finds himself in rooms filled with supposedly dangerous murderers and serial killers, yet none of them can match his crazy intensity or even put up a believable fight. This imbalance is genuinely disappointing, as it diminishes the stakes and makes the victories feel less earned. Furthermore, Pratik Samita Patil, formerly known as Pratik Babbar, as the antagonist is a severe miscast. He is simply no match for Nani's immense talent or his commanding aura. Pratik felt so out of place, burdened by paper-thin character that offered him no room to showcase any menace or depth. The filmmaker should have added some other actor who would have possessed the gravitas and intensity to match Nani's crazy. An actor like Abhishek Banerjee immediately comes to mind as someone who could have brought the necessary unsettling presence and intensity to create a truly formidable antagonist, providing a much needed counterweight to Nani's powerful portrayal. My other significant complaints revolve around logical inconsistencies and unnecessary narrative diversions. For instance, these killers supposedly meet in secret every year, maintaining an incredibly discreet operation. So why is there virtually no security around their meetings? Why is nobody using guns until the very end, and even then, often just to conveniently hand over the gun to Nani so the plot can move ahead? These feels like contrivances designed to facilitate the hero's journey rather than organic plot developments. And then there is a bewildering choice of a song in the train sequence when Nani is meticulously planning to trap and infiltrate the killer's den. Why have a song in such a tense, high-stakes situation? It feels so utterly out of place, completely disrupting the carefully built suspense and atmosphere. Similarly, the romantic angle felt entirely superfluous and wasn't needed here at all. This is simply not a film where our protagonist requires a conventional heroine. Srinidhi Shetty's character adds absolutely nothing to Arjun Sarkar's development or to the film's overall narrative. Her presence feels like a mandatory checklist item rather than an integral part of the story. If she wasn't there, nobody would have missed her. A clear sign that the romantic subplot was an unnecessary addition that diluted the film's focus. That broadly sums up why HIT, the third case, despite its undeniable strengths, ultimately couldn't reach the heights it was clearly aiming for. Yes, Nani's performance and the film's sheer brutality are undoubtedly the highlights, delivering a raw and intense cinematic experience. However, these triumphs were weighed down by several structural and narrative shortcomings. The film could have been significantly benefited by trimming down the romance angle entirely, focusing instead on its core strengths. It also desperately needed a much more powerful and convincing antagonist to provide a credible challenge to Nani's formidable character. Ultimately, HIT, the third case, falls somewhere in the challenging middle ground. It's not excellent, but it's far from bad. It's an enjoyable, albeit flawed cinematic experience. You can absolutely watch it for Nani's captivating performance and the uncompromising brutality it offers. And that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that you know the drill. Bye.